Shalom. First of all, I'd like to start by giving all praises and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and great millstone. Salutations to the Ark in doing his work in sincerity and in truth. Once again, coming back at you with a new news article. This is on kitcone.com. The article is entitled "Russia Dumps US Dollar. Country's top oil producer choose Euro for all future deals." Now, that just sums up pretty much the downfall of the dollar, and also the devaluation of the pound, the sterling. All right, and let's read into this article. It says, "Get caught up in minutes with our speedy summary of today's blah blah blah." One of the world's top oil producers and exporters, Russia's Rosneft, is ditching the US dollar for euros when it comes to all future deals. The change in the default currency for all new exports of crude oil and refined products is clearly visible in September's tender. So they're basically saying, we don't need you, America, man. We don't need your business, you know. Where America used to be that strong world power, pretty much all the allies of Russia basically saying, you know, we're not going to depend on the dollar either, man. And pretty much everyone's going to follow suit and do trade in the euro. It says, the switch to euros is said to limit the company's vulnerability to potential future sanctions by the US, Reuters reported on Thursday. So basically the US is going to have to retaliate as much as they can to prevent that dollar from tanking, but it's going to be, you know, futile. Basically every effort is a waste of time because it's a part of prophecy, you know. Let's see. It says Rosneft has recently adjusted all the new contracts for export supplies to euros. We've been notified. A trader from a company that regularly buys from Rosneft told Reuters. Alright. So that's pretty much what needs to be said about this. How you can find it by typing in the title on Google. But like I said, man, pretty much the superpower, the wealth got by deceit, America, their time is up, man. All right, and pretty much by people leading, you know, dumping the dollar, there's only going to be one conclusion that the US can come to, which is to go to war, man, which is that nuclear war spoken of in the scriptures, man, World War III. So from here, so let's look at another article, the Financial Times. Global stocks slide as US, China and Brexit woes weigh on markets. US and European stocks fell on Tuesday as US-China trade tension and intensified Brexit. So what you've got right now is before you have a full-fledged physical war, you have an economic war, and that's what's really going on right now. So the stocks are backwards and forwards, up and down, and there's backwards and forwards between the different people controlling the economy and the trade markets. It says US-China trade tension and intensified Brexit uncertainty weighed on global markets. As I scan down this article, I'm going to pick out a few things. It says US-China trade talks are scheduled to resume on Thursday, with analysts remaining dubious on the likelihood of a game-changing outcome. We see some possibility of a truce, but a comprehensive trade deal remains unlikely. The Trump administration has said it will restrict companies from exporting American-made goods to 28 more Chinese groups in an announcement that came 3 days. Yeah, thank you. Before the visit of Liu He, Beijing's chief trade negotiator with the US to Washington. I'm just reading out a couple of paragraphs. Okay. Alright, here we go. In Europe, the broad stocks 600 benchmark and Germany's DAX were each down 0.9%, while France's CAC 40 shed 0.9%. The UK's FTSE 100 was down a relatively milder 0.4%. Sterling weakened 0.6% against the euro, hovering just off the threshold of 90p per euro. So that just shows you how the devaluation of the pound ain't that far off of the euro. So it offers more stability than doing trade even in the dollar. It says or 1.1 per the euro, 1.1 euro per £1. As hopes of a Brexit deal at next week's EU summit fizzled, Boris Johnson's allies admitted on Tuesday that any hopes of the UK will strike a deal with Brussels at the meeting were effectively dead. So that just simply concludes that the pound is just going to continue to tank, man, and sink. So from here, man, all you can see is more doom and gloom. So from here, let's go to James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." Alright, so these rich men, they've been made rich by all the corrupt dealings and decrees that they made with other countries. But there's going to come a time where all their miseries are going to come at once. And that's pretty much when the destruction of America takes place, man. And it starts at this economical war by people dumping their power, which is their dollar or the pound. It says, "Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days." And that's true, man, because when you go to Revelations, the 18th chapter, it tells you in prophecy what's going to happen to the wealth of America, man. Alright, the wealth of that dollar. It's going to be destroyed right along with America, right, through thermonuclear destruction. Alright. Let's see. It says, Revelation is 18:9, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning." So yeah, man, America's gonna be completely finished, and so is their economy and the dollar. But we're seeing this evidence of this demise in the articles that we've read. So anyway, man, this is just a quick news update regarding the economy and the dollar. So yeah, man, America's fruit. So with that, until the next video, I'm gonna say shalom.